Hi, welcome back to the Animal Healers series. Last week, we discussed the crown chakra and the butterflies, and I'm going to link that right here so you can go check that out if you haven't already. Now, this week is about the third eye chakra, as you can tell by the title, and we're going to be talking about one specific animal in particular. We're transitioning from one winged creature to the next. And this animal that I picked is very, very special and dear to me, and I'm very excited to be talking about how they relate to the third eye. I'm going to do a brief background summary as to what they are, what they were pre the fall of Atlantis and post the fall of Atlantis, and kind of that background knowledge on the creature the same way I did it with the butterflies. And then I'll get into how they relate to the third eye and how you can call them. We, as always, have 3 affirmations of calling this animal healer, and that'll be posted at the end of the video. And yeah, let's just get into it. There's no need to stall and wait for stuff and me to ramble on and on and on. So let's just transition into meeting the animal healer. Okay, so in brief summary, an owl is a nocturnal animal that feeds on rodents and hunts in the night and sleeps during the day. And that is the general basic description of this animal. But as always, the general basic description of anything has, there's more to it. There's more to the story than what we know. That has been proven to be true. And so kind of ripping apart the actual definition of what an owl is and explaining it in terms of the group soul. And a group soul is a soul of the animals. Every animal species has a group soul. Whether that soul is on the positive polarity or on the negative polarity just depends on what it is and what it represents. And then there are some beings like the butterflies, which are manifestations of certain things, and they're sort of guides coming through a type of creature. So like I mentioned with the butterflies, and if you want to hear more detail about that, you can click right here where the crown video is linked. Like I mentioned, the butterflies are the manifestations of change and metamorphosis, and guides of change and metamorphosis come through the face of a butterfly. But owls are different, as their group soul has been on Earth since before ancient times, since before, well, the world as we know it. They existed in the Age of Atlantis, and during the Age of Atlantis, they were messengers, and they could actually talk and communicate with the souls of the Earth. But like most souls and beings after the fall of Atlantis, their sole purpose changed. It changed into something completely different than what it used to be. And a lot of different beings' sole purposes changed after the fall of Atlantis. Atlantis was the golden age of Earth. It was peaceful and fully in the positive polarity. It fell when the negative polarity got a hold of it. And when that happened, there was so much negativity running around that it physically manifested itself in the form of what we know as rodents. Now, we didn't want all of those running around, right? Mother Nature and the universe had to find a way to combat the negative polarity in that way. So 3 major animals were given a new purpose, and those were the small cats, snakes, and owls. And I'm going to be talking about owls for the third eye because cats and snakes are related to other chakras as well, and I'll get into that later, and there's so much to dig into about reptiles and the whole, cat thing, the big cat, small cat. So there's so much depth there. Same with the owls, but in a different way. So the owls were meant to hunt at night and cleanse the earth of these physical manifestations of negativity. And slowly they started to lose their ability to communicate with humans via vocal, physical level. And the only way that they can really communicate is via soul level. and I was able to connect to their group soul, and that's how I learned all about this. And I was able to connect to them because I've had a deep connection to this animal for a really long time, and they're one of my spirit animals, so it was very easy for me to create a connection with them so that I can relay their message to all of you. Now, they hunted at night, but when the earth started to change, that's when snakes and cats were given their purpose, small cats and snakes. Owls were the first to be given the title of cleansers of the physical manifestations of negativity. They were the first ones, and they're still doing that now. And now, because small cats and snakes are getting domesticated more, as are owls, but I feel like it's more common for small cats to be domesticated, owls have to keep hunting at night, and they still have to kind of keep up the mantle that was given to them after the fall of Atlantis. And because they cleanse the earth of the physical manifestations of negativity, they have to be able to sense that energy, because they do it at night, and they do it while, we're all sleeping, so that they don't scare or startle us. Because anything that radiates on the positive polarity is never going to want to scare humanity. It's not going to try and invade our home and our life, and it's going to, kind of stay in the shadows if they know that they're gonna scare you. And owls do kind of have that scary persona around them because of stories about them and miscommunications about them. And the group soul is very aware of that, and that's why they do it at night, to avoid startling us. And they do a really good job if they can. And in a lot of places that have become more industrial, that's where, cats and snakes mainly cats can do the job, because sometimes owls can't get into the cities that never sleep because they have that sort of scary persona about them based on miscommunications, and I really want to clear up those miscommunications. And a whole part about understanding the difference between what they really are and what the miscommunications were is opening your third eye to the possibility of a new truth, which is another reason why they symbolize the third eye. So let's just transition into how they symbolize the third eye and how they hunt their prey and all that stuff, and how they can help you. Okay, so how owls hunt their prey is by using the ability that they have of sensing the negative energy. They can sense the negative energy and aura about anything. So if you've ever been attacked by an owl or a cat or a snake, even, their sole purpose is to be able to identify the negative aura about things. And they can sense negative energy. And they're not the only beings that can sense negative energy, just some beings go about it in a different way. And yeah, but they're definitely not the only ones that can. But if you've ever been attacked or one was about to attack you, it could have been because there was a negative energy around you, because that's their purpose, to cleanse the negative energy from Earth. That's what they do. That's why they're here. So how they do that, because at night, they may be nocturnal, but there's no light around. Well, because they radiate on the positive polarity, there is light emanating off of them, and so they can use that light that's coming from their soul and from their source, because it's all one soul, just in different, breeds of owls. So they can use that to help them see, but they also use a third eye in a sense. Their eyes are a third eye, from my understanding. So what our third eye, like how we have this like extra eye to see beyond the veil, they don't have an eye that sees this side of the veil. Like they don't see a veil. They see like both sides of it. They can see on both sides at all times. So their eyes kind of work in that way, and they sense the negativity. And that's when they go after the energy of it. So they go after the negative energy to destroy it and cleanse it. and it can sometimes be a physical manifestation, or it can sometimes be just a negative energy or aura around. And if it is a negative energy or aura around, lurking around that they're trying to cleanse, they'll make noises, and there are certain noises that they make to do that. A lot of it is like the barking and hissing noises that they make. I studied owls at a young age, so I know all the noises that they make on a physical level, and it's said that they bark and hiss when they feel threatened or scared, which is in a way true, but they bark and hiss when they sense negative energy, but the negative energy isn't coming through in a physical body like a rodent, so they just make those noises to kind of disrupt the negative energy. And if they're hooing at night, they're kind of just like calling each other, and they're kind of trying to awaken our soul's voice. So the hooting is the same way like with a crow crowing. It's the noise that they make to call back to our soul song. And I'll talk more about crows later because they're also very much associated with the third eye, and they deserve some attention as well. And they also deserve to have a little myth busting going on the same way that I'm doing it for the owls, because neither one of them are as negative as they're perceived to be. See, owls and crows, but owls are messengers. That's what they used to be, communicators. That's what they were before Atlantis fell, and in a way they are still that way. And they can sense negativity, so they kind of make the noises not just to break up the negative energy, but to also warn us as humans that there's a negative aura around. They're still trying to communicate with us, even though that they lost their ability to speak. And they lost it because humanity got scared of them. And there are so many beings out there that humanity got scared of, and I'm not saying that every being that humanity doesn't like has this higher soul purpose, but most do, and most were, like, they kind of had to have that, kind of like owls had to have that, people being a little, like, scared of them to be able to do their work at night. That at the beginning, that was what was needed, but now it's gotten to the point where, like, either some people are, like, deathly terrified of them, or they're trying to domesticate them and turn them into pets, and that's in both ways taking away from their soul purpose. And what happens with that is fear and entrapment block the third eye. And owls, there's two sides of it. Either people are terrified of them, which is fear, or they're trying to entrap them and keep them in cages as pets, which is entrapment. And so soul entrapment can block you from accessing your third eye, and fear can block you from accessing your third eye because fear doesn't come from the positive polarity, and your third eye is the eye of your soul, and so you can't really access the eye of your soul if you're living in a frequency of fear. And because of how humans respond to them, that is one way that they do symbolize the third eye. They also symbolize the third eye because their eyes are a third eye and they can see a negative aura. From my understanding, they see like a literal black aura, like a black just aura, like complete pitch black darkness, like a void in a certain area. They see everything else as like kind of light, and then how they're able to see the negativity is they see this one like dot of darkness and they go after the dot of darkness. And a lot of the times once they see the dot of darkness, they just go after the energy and they're not entirely aware of like what physical thing is there. When they get to it, when they fly closer to it, they can tell whether or not it's a physical entity or it's just an energy, and then that establishes how they will respond. But they don't think of it in, and I don't want to say like in an ego way, but like in an ego way. They don't think of it on a physical level, they see it in an energetic level. And kind of their eyes see everything in an energetic level. And there are some animals that can see everything in an energetic level as well. That's why it's said that most animals see in black and white. It's because really what they see is the light of the positive polarity and the colors of the positive polarity versus the colors of the negative polarity. And it's not colors how we think, like black and white, like how if we watch a black and white film, it's black and white in the sense where they see the energies of either the lights of the positive or the lights of the negative, and that's what it's meant by seeing black and white, but most people don't know that because most people don't talk to the group souls. So that's kind of in summary. And the owls, they want to help, and they're not gonna like fly in it. Like if you call on them, they're not gonna just like fly into your house. Like that's not how it works. If you call on them, they'll do it at night while you're sleeping, and they'll come around. And there's so many different affirmations and things that you can say. So I'm gonna say them now, and then I'm gonna type them in the comments. And I'll also post the 3, like I did with the butterflies, I'm going to post the three major affirmations and of calling the group soul on my Instagram. I'll have that posted there as well. So let's just say them, and I'll explain why each one are each one, and then we'll wrap this whole thing up. Okay, so you might want to have like a pen and paper out to take notes, but like I said, they're going to be in the comment section, they'll be on my Instagram, and I'm saying them now, so there are many different ways you can access them, same like how it was with the butterflies. So, the first one is, I ask the owl group soul to help my soul enter the positive polarity. Now you want to say this one first, because first you're asking to enter the positive polarity. So the first step is stepping into the light. That's the first step. You know, the light at the end of the tunnel, it's like, in the stories, it's like you always want to get there. And you don't really think about what's going to happen when you get to the light. So the first step is stepping into the light before we can do the other things. So again, I ask the owl group soul to help my soul enter the positive light and the positive polarity. And you're saying your soul because you're calling on your soul to awaken. So saying it from the standpoint of your soul, not you, is a way of calling on your soul, and you saying that you want your soul to step into the positive light, and you're kind of opening the door for your soul to kind of step through, if that makes sense. So again, I ask the owl group soul to help my soul step into the positive polarity and the positive light. Good? Okay. The next one is, I ask the owl group soul to balance and awaken and align my third eye. Again, I ask the owl group soul to awaken, balance, and align my third eye. Same way with the crown, you want all those 3 things to happen. So like you want it to be awakened, you want it to be balanced, and aligned with all the rest of your chakras. So they can help do all of that once you step into the positive light. They'll help you do all of that so that your third eye opens. And the same way I mentioned with the crown, you can kind of tell when your third eye opens, you start to like feel this like pulsing a lot when you're using it. And the crown and the third eye, they're very much connected. And they work really well together, and chances are if your third eye is working, your crown chakra is working as well, and vice versa. So keep that in mind. And obviously it's self-explanatory as to why we want our third eyes to be balanced, aligned, and awakened, because this is for the third eye, and they can help do that. And that can be as simple as like you wake up in the middle of the night and you hear them hooting outside. They're just kind of calling your soul to kind of step through and use its eye. So again, I call on the owl group soul to awaken, balance, and align my third eye. Now, you're saying the group soul because it's a group soul and they all have one soul, one source. So it's not like you're calling on like the great gray owl, because the great gray owl and the barn owl are the same soul. They just have a different physical appearance, if that makes sense. I'm using the barn owl picture, but I'll probably use a gray at the end. There are so many different owl breeds, but it really doesn't matter because you're calling on their soul to help you. And that is part of their soul purpose, which is to cleanse the earth of negativity. And if you're stepping into the positive light, they are cleansing the earth of negativity, because that's one more soul on the positive polarity that can help them get earth back to what it was, which is reach golden status, and then their purpose will readjust back again to being messengers, and our purposes will adjust as well. Adaptability, like I talked about when I was talking about the crown chakra, adaptability. And the final thing you want to say is, I ask the owl group soul to ensure that fear and negativity do not follow me on my new path. Again, I ask the owl group soul to ensure that fear and negativity do not follow me on my new path. You're saying this because by the time you've stepped into the positive polarity and you've awakened your third eye, you're on a new soul path. And once you do that, the negative polarity wants to fight with you, and it wants to pull you back. And so it's going to send fear, it's going to send negativity after you, so that it can try and block your third eye and take you out of your soul light and bring it back to its polarity. And so by asking the owls to kind of create this shield behind you of keeping all the fear and negativity away, you're ensuring that you stay on the positive polarity and you stay on your soul journey and your soul path. Because, like I mentioned, soul entrapment and fear are the two biggest things that block the third eye and keep it completely out of whack. And so calling on them does that. Perfect. Good. If you want a fourth little one, just I ask the owl group soul to activate my intuition. If you just want to start with a baby step, just simply ask them to help activate your intuition. And by doing that, you want to make sure that you're listening to your intuition. So if you're asking for it to be activated, you want to make sure that you're listening to it and activate it on like a soul level, like you're activating your soul's intuition. And you're saying that as a way of promising to your soul and to the universe that you're going to listen when the intuition comes through. Because intuition is one of the biggest things of the third eye, and listening to it is very important. They say like following your gut feeling, but really your intuition takes place right here in your third eye. That's where it comes from. It's that gut feeling. It's your soul's eye and your soul's voice. And it kind of pushes you through the solar plexus to kind of get it done and listen to it. I know for me, when my intuition started to kick in like to a higher degree, I felt like this force coming through from my solar plexus, and I started to get this like pounding headache, and it's those two communicating together. And I'll talk more about that when I get to the solar plexus, but we have a few more chakras to get to before we get to the solar plexus. I'm going to reiterate the 3 major affirmation mantras to say, and I'll say the fourth optional one again. So first you want to say, I ask the owl group soul to help me and my soul step into the positive polarity and positive light. I ask the owl group soul to awaken, balance, and align my third eye. I ask the owl group soul to keep fear and negativity away from me as I enter this new path in my life. And I ask the owl group soul to activate my soul's intuition. Simple. And those will be typed, and they'll be on Instagram, and there will be many different ways for you to see them. That all makes sense? Good. You can comment in the comments if none of this makes any sense, and I can try and explain it. So kind of in summary, the owls are here to help you, and there's so much that they have to give to the world, so I hope that you learned a little bit about them, and I'll definitely be talking about them more in the future. They'll make a reappearance. But this kind of moment in Golden Sunshine with the owl group soul has come to an end. If you haven't seen the crown chakra video, go ahead and check that one out. Again, it'll be linked here or here. I don't know which side it's gonna appear on, but it'll be linked to this video and you can go check that out. And I hope that you start to awaken your third eye, because the owls are 100% here to help you. I hope you have a blessed day and blessed life. Thank you for tuning in to this Animal Healers segment. The owls definitely appreciate you giving them a little attention and opening your mind to the possibility of new meanings as to what they are, what they represent, and what their purpose is. Because we all have a higher purpose, including the owls, and they want to help you find yours.